Good morning, everyone. If you have not done so, please go ahead and make your way to your seat. Love the hustle up in front, like that. It's like a teacher calling you out in class. I'm sorry for that. What a great looking room. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning. And on behalf of United Way of Central Iowa, welcome to Live United. Yeah, let's go ahead. I'm a woohoo type, so I'm all here for that. My name is Alex Sachs. I anchor KCCI 8 News this morning and KCCI 8 News at noon, so thank you for letting me play hooky with you. I have a coworker who likes to say in our profession, we get a front row seat to life or a backstage pass to life. And I couldn't agree more. And that's why I love United Way so much. In my job, I've gotten to share a lot of incredible stories of the work they do in our community. So another round of applause, please, for United Way. And I'm honored to be back again this year. If you were here last year, you may remember Timothy Perkins and the Morning Star Dance Troupe. They joined us to kick things off with Live United with a land acknowledgement ceremony, honoring and respecting indigenous people and their traditional territories. It was beautiful. And as we remember that moving ceremony, we once again want to acknowledge we gather on the traditional land of the first people, past and present, and honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have stewarded it through the generations. I would also like to note for any of our guests who might be hearing impaired, if you would like to follow along with the program today, please feel free to scan the QR code at your table for a transcript as we move through the program. And as we get started this morning, the team of United Way wanted to first acknowledge and appreciate the hundreds of organizations and just appreciate the work that they do throughout Central Iowa that provide vital services to those in our community who need the support. Our community's network of nonprofit organizations is exceptional. We are fortunate to work closely with them to address our most critical challenges. So many of you here today, and we cannot overstate how important your partnership is to our work and to our community. If you are a member of one of Iowa's critical Iowa's nonprofit organizations, please stand if you are a member of a nonprofit organization. Thank you for your collective impact. We celebrate you today. Today, we will share a glimpse of some of Central Iowa's critical challenges. We will also recount some of the important work being done to address these challenges. We will honor some of the individuals and organizations who have helped to make a positive impact over the past year. But first, we want to thank our longtime partner and sponsor of this event, Prairie Meadows. Please welcome to the stage Gary Palmer, CEO of Prairie Meadows, to just share a few words.
Thank you very much. Well, it's sure nice to see all these good-looking people here today. Wow. What a community we have with everyone that helps so much, and you know what United Way does. We couldn't have a community like ours without United Way and the helpers that get the goals accomplished they're supposed to. On behalf of Prairie Meadows and its 1,000 employees, we welcome you here today, and our board of directors. First, I'd like to recognize our board. When I mention your name, will you please stand up? First, Dennis Allball, Chris Costa, Danny Holman, Linda Granquist, Dr. Ian Lynn, Marty Martin, John Morrow, Dr. Stephen Neville, Bob O'Halloran, Jeff Russell, Ken Sager, Mary Simon, Tiffany Tolchak, Susan Voss, and Jeff Wagnus. Thank you so much for what you do, board. Again, thank you for coming out today. It's our honor to host you today. We hope you have a great program and a great luncheon. Thank you very much.
We just get one more recognition for Gary, for Prairie Meadows, both for their partnership and also for having all of us here today. What a great looking room you all are. Thank you, Gary. So my own good morning to everybody. My name is Sean Vicente. I have had the great honor as serving as the board chair for United Way of Central Iowa since 2021. United Way is governed by an amazing group of volunteers here in our community, and I'd like to take just a moment to recognize all of you who are in the room who serve United Way in many ways. If you are a member of United Way's Executive Committee, Board of Directors, one of our investment cabinets, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Thank you for your service. These individuals and others, about 300 volunteers strong, volunteer their time and expertise to United Way to advise us in matters of community investments and other important matters around governance, direction, professional advice, and their time is greatly appreciated. I'd also like to take this moment to recognize the United Way team. If you are a member of the United Way of Central Iowa staff, please stand to be recognized. It is an amazing team, and they truly care about our community and helping others who need it most. So thank you to all of you who are part of that team. So they gave me just a moment to offer my own reflections as I finish my term here as board chair. So I'm going to take them up on it. I promise not to be long. But you know, as I reflect on the past 2 years as board chair and nearly 2 decades of working with United Way of Central Iowa, let me first say we are truly blessed in this community to have an organization like United Way. It starts with Mary Sellers, who you're going to hear from later, her ability to strategically think and lead against a very dynamic environment. But I think she'd also be quick to point out that it's all those people that we just recognized who stood up that bring United to Thrive to life day in and day out. It's a team that wakes up every single day with one purpose: to make this community better, right? To lift up those in our community who need it the most. It's an organization who's been doing that same thing for 105 years, identifying the issues, supporting those in need, providing support to our community partners who deliver the services, convening those very important community conversations, and serving as both the trusted leader for health and human services and the trusted source of the data that enriches those discussions. As with so many things in our lives since COVID began, the world around us is changing with amazing pace. As a result, the need for United Way and the role that it plays in our community has never been more important. It's a big picture view. It's one that can see the interconnectedness of the issues, and it's the one that has the community's permission to bring together the pieces to address those issues. With that change also comes the need for us to evolve. We've got to be more agile. We've got to be able to respond with greater urgency. And we've done just that in issues such as food insecurity and gun violence in just this past year. We too are adapting. We're organizing and leading differently, thinking about new ways, but always with that same focus: community first, and a commitment to integrity and stewardship that has been a staple of this organization for as long as I've known it. I encourage you to listen carefully to Mary's remarks later in the program to really understand the depth of the issues that we're dealing with and the response that United Way is leading. So it has been a true honor and privilege to be a part of this organization, and I'll just leave you with one final thought, and that's just to say we need your collective and continued support now more than ever, as we all give, advocate, and volunteer so that all in our community have the opportunity to thrive. Thank you for being here. Enjoy your lunch. Or I'll turn it back to Alex anyway.
Thank you so much, Sean. We're going to take a short break in a few minutes, and the Prairie Meadows team will serve lunch. If you've attended this event in the past, you might notice the lunches are being handled a little bit differently this year. Thanks a lot to the work by Prairie Meadows. Any lunches that are not served today will be donated to our good friends at Urban Dreams. So thank you, Prairie Meadows. Two years ago, United Way launched United to Thrive. It was developed with input from thousands of partners to guide United Way's strategies and measurement in addressing Central Iowa's most critical challenges. To help illustrate United to Thrive, United Way uses puzzles. The critical issues our community faces are a lot like puzzles. They're complex, made up of many interconnected pieces, and most importantly, they can be solved. Every one of you in this room today is a part of solving those puzzles. So, to symbolize this, we'd like to ask you to help us solve a puzzle. On the other side of the stage, right there, you can see a big puzzle map. On each of your tables, you have a puzzle piece with your table's number on it. We'll now take a few minutes for lunch, but during that time, please send up someone from your table to put your puzzle piece on that map. And with every table in this room contributing, we will complete this puzzle. Is it intimidating? I promise it's numbered for you. I'm not great at games either. But the best part, jokes aside, we'll complete this puzzle because we're gonna solve the problem the best way we know how, together, in a united way. Yeah. So good luck. I know you can do it, and I cannot wait to see the finished project, and enjoy your lunch. We'll be back in a little bit to continue the program.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. And thank you for helping us complete the puzzle. I don't know if everyone heard the collective in the audience when Alex was explaining it, but look, we did it. We solved the puzzle, so congratulations to everybody. I'm Mary Sellers. I have the good fortune of being president of United Way of Central Iowa, and it's indeed my honor to welcome each of you here today, and thank you for taking time out of what I know are very busy schedules to join us. Before going any further, I'd like to offer my sincere thanks to Sean Vicente for serving as our board chair over the last 2 years. His term will, yes, well deserved. His term as chair will be complete at the end of June, and I just wanted to share with this group what an amazing leader and partner Sean has been for our organization. We have really appreciated all you've done to help us continue to grow and evolve, so thank you, Sean. We are also very fortunate to have Sean hand off the reins to someone who has also been an incredibly dedicated and loyal leader for United Way, in so many ways. Maria Volante will assume the role as board chair in July, and we couldn't be more excited to tap into Maria's enthusiastic and bold leadership for the future as we strive forward together. Thank you, Maria. And one more acknowledgement. Each year, dozens of this community's top executives and community leaders help us execute the United Way campaign. And one individual gives a tremendous amount of time and influence as our campaign chair. We are so fortunate this year to have Jeff Rommel from Nationwide as our campaign chair. Under Jeff's leadership, we know it's going to be a great year. Thank you to Jeff. Two years ago, when we announced United to Thrive, it marked an evolution of our organization in the way that we work with others. We sought input from across the community to help us frame how United Way can best serve our community now and into the future. Today, United to Thrive is helping us to be more nimble and responsive as critical issues in our community arise. As you can see from the puzzle you put together, we focus not only on the 5 elements of a thriving community with equity at the center, but on how, like a puzzle, each piece is interconnected. And at the center of it all is equity. United Way of Central Iowa defines equity in the following way. Equity means every person has access to resources and opportunities based upon their specific needs and aspirations, which empowers them to thrive long-term. We place equity at the center of our strategic imperative because no community can thrive if every person in that community does not have access to the specific resources and opportunities they need. Central Iowa has significant segments of our population that do not have access to the resources and opportunities that they need. And that can be because of their race, their ethnic diversity, their economic status, their neighborhood, or other factors outside of their control. Without making equity a top priority, all Central Iowans cannot thrive. United Way's unique role in our community is to bring people together to solve problems. When critical issues emerge, as they often do, United Way is here to gather many around that issue. The people who want to help, the organizations who can provide services and resources, those that set the policy and govern, and the people who are most impacted. We bring them all together so we can plan together, strategize together, and work together in a united way to collectively solve that problem. And these are some of our community's most critical challenges. We are here to help navigate issues, as Sean said, like food insecurity, like youth violence, like affordable housing shortages, and many, many more. Big, tough issues that require every bit of resolve, creativity, and determination that this community can muster. We are honored to partner with the leaders and the visionaries from Central Iowa's businesses and nonprofit community, with our lawmakers, our policymakers, with our community's most dedicated and passionate volunteers, those with lived experiences, and influential community organizers. Together, united, we dig in and do the hard work to make lasting and measurable impact. As we do each year at Live United, today we are unveiling our community report, which you have at your table. You are the first to receive a copy, and in it we share some of our community's most pressing issues and how we, with your help, are making a positive impact for our community. As we walk through some of the information in this year's report, we will zero in on one example of an issue in each of the 5 elements of our community: essential needs, early childhood success, education success, economic opportunity, and health and well-being. But as we do that in each element, I ask you to consider the challenge that challenge has on the other 5 elements. These critical issues do not happen in a silo. They send ripples across the community that impact all 5 elements and every aspect of people's lives. As we work our way through each element, we are also pleased to offer a glimpse into some of our nonprofit partners who do amazing work in Central Iowa to help people thrive. Our first element is essential needs.
Well, Waukee Area Christian Services does host the largest food pantry and the only free medical clinic in Dallas County. And so we're the one place that people can come for a variety of needs. So whether that's food, clothing, shelter, emergency financial assistance, and sometimes really just a caring ear to listen to people. We realize that Dallas County is really big, so we can help families not only in the city, but also in the rural areas of Dallas County. And with over 17 years of experience in Dallas County, we feel like we've really got a pulse on what the need is, and we've been trying really hard to keep up with the need, not only here in Waukee, but all of Dallas County. Well, I know that one of the essential needs is all about accessing healthy food and reducing barriers. And our mission here at Waukee Area Christian Services is to provide people's immediate needs and create connections for lifelong wellness. And so it just really touches our heart to everything that we do here. And we know that it's not just about food. It's about giving people choices. And so we do offer healthy food options. Our community garden, for example, is the only one in the area that allows clients to go to the garden one time per week during the growing season and pick fresh produce. So it's a pretty incredible program that distributes well over 2 tons of produce during the growing season. And then we have a great weekend snack pack program that provides fresh produce, 2 or 3 pieces of fresh fruit to the weekend kiddos to give them an added extra healthy options over the weekend too. So, well, for 17 years, we have been not only meeting that immediate need of food, but a few years later, we have our free medical clinic, and I know that that's one of the essential needs. And so we partner with Free Clinics of Iowa to provide basic health care for individuals who need health care. We offer not only the basic health care, but we have chiropractic care and physical therapy also available through the clinic. And then we really believe that the unmet need of mental health is an unmet need as well. And so we are working on an opportunity where we could provide some of those services here. So when families come in for some of those basic needs of food and clothing and shelter, that we can immediately be able to connect them to the resources for mental health as well. And like I mentioned, our free medical clinic is right here on site as well. And our community closet is here offering student wear for kiddos. And then our community garden is also here on site too.
In order to thrive, Central Iowans need not only food and shelter, but reliable access to quality, nutritious food and a safe, welcoming place to call home. Affordable housing in Central Iowa continues to be one of our community's most critical challenges. We are facing unprecedented numbers of people who are experiencing homelessness. Evictions in Central Iowa have increased by 35% in the last year, and nearly 8,000 Central Iowans are behind on their rent. Perhaps most concerning, thousands of Central Iowa students started the school year experiencing homelessness. We often talk about the challenges of navigating school and graduating with a plan for the future, and it's not easy for anyone. Now imagine how many more challenges these students, young people without a place to call home, face each day. When we look at student homelessness, racial disparities in our community exist. 64% of Central Iowa's student body is white, but 2/3 of our homeless students are people of color, making their journey more challenging. And it's imperative that we address these disparities. Throughout this report, we want to emphasize again how each of these challenges reaches across and connects all the elements of a thriving community. Consider the implications of all these students who are homeless. They are, of course, burdened with essential needs, but their chances of education success are also dramatically impacted. And that means they will be challenged to access economic opportunities as adults and to live healthy lives now and in the future. That is an example of how these elements are all connected, and impact in any one element, positive or negative, makes impact across all. Thankfully, there are many in this community who are working on our affordable housing shortage. Many are in this room today. And United Way works hard to ensure we are all working together to make a difference. It's a massive challenge, but we are aligned to partner and move forward. United Way's Opportunity Initiative convenes expert work groups to identify and enact solutions in housing, food, insecurity, reentry, and other poverty-related issues. United Way also funds programs such as food pantries, homeless shelters, legal representation involving evictions, landlord-tenant counseling, and case management, along with funding to support building and rehabilitating affordable housing units, all to assist families in breaking the cycle of poverty and unstable housing. Our next element is early childhood success.
So Count the Kicks impacts Central Iowa in a really big way. So Count the Kicks is an evidence-based stillbirth prevention program that educates expectant parents on monitoring their baby's movements and how to do it every day in the 3rd trimester of pregnancy. So it's all about empowering expectant parents on knowing what's normal for their baby, and then to speak up to their doctor if they notice a change in their baby's movement. Since our program began in Iowa in 2008, we know that we have helped moms and their babies get here safely, hundreds of them, and that just brings a smile to our face. So early childhood success starts from the moment a baby is born. Arguably, some would say that that starts before a baby is born. So when we're talking about that, we are able to ensure that moms and babies have healthy birth outcomes and positive birth outcomes, because we know when that happens, that sets a whole family up for success for years and years to come. So we support organizations like Bright by Text by sharing helpful tips and reminders regarding kick counting during an expectant parent's pregnancy when they use our app, Count the Kicks. So we also have a free tool on our app and on our website that connects expectant parents to free or low-cost resources in their community that they can access either while they're pregnant or after they deliver. So for example, if we can connect a woman to a food assistance program or childcare before that baby is born, that is just one less thing that mom has to worry about. Also, if we can connect an expectant parent to an OBGYN or a primary care provider that runs on a bus line that goes right by her house, we know that gives her more of a chance to go to her doctor on a routine basis to improve her own physical well-being and mental well-being, but as well as her child's. And that we know has long-lasting impacts long after the child is born as well.
Our youngest Central Iowans need not only access to childcare, but safe, reliable, and affordable childcare to be healthy and ready to learn. Childcare is essential for a community to thrive. It is critical for a successful early childhood. It sets the stage for a child to be successful in school, and it gives parents the ability to work to achieve economic opportunity. Iowa is highly dependent on childcare. 75% of our kids under 6 have 2 parents or caregivers working outside the home. That statistic is very high when comparing to other states, so we have significant demand for childcare. And yet, we continue to struggle to meet that significant demand. Our supply of childcare is decreasing significantly. We have lost more than 1,000 licensed childcare slots in Polk County alone in less than a year. Why? Well, despite the rising cost of childcare for families, often the largest item typically in a household budget, childcare providers face incredibly difficult business challenges as the cost to operate childcare centers also continue to rise. Centers are not required to take state funding, but many do to help alleviate the childcare shortage. Unfortunately, the state funding is more than $3,500 less per child per year than standard market rates. So childcare providers who use state funding to assist those most in need are at a financially viable disadvantage. Low-income working parents are the ones most likely to be impacted by the shortage and the rising cost of childcare. And it's easy to see the impact of childcare shortages across all 5 elements. These children are not only impacted right now, but this also means they will enter school less prepared. It means their parents will have a harder time finding reliable work and earning a dependable income without someone to care for their children. And quality childcare has been proven to improve the mental and physical health of our young ones. With the help of many partners and advocates, we've made great strides in helping Central Iowans afford childcare. In 2021, we successfully advocated for new laws that increase the eligibility for public assistance for childcare expenses. And in this year's legislative session, we successfully advocated for additional legislation currently awaiting the governor's signature that will further increase the number of families who qualify for the state's child care assistance program. This bill also increases child care reimbursement rates throughout the program, so steps being taken. There are many challenges to early childhood success, and we are thankful to our nonprofit partners, our child care community, our Women United members, in addition to other donors who support this important work. The next element is education success.
I think it impacts it greatly, particularly this zip code that we're in. I think it's one of the lowest income and probably the most diverse as far as just culturally or languages or income. So I really feel like where I'm at Harding Middle School, it's very important and very impactful just to have this position to one, be able to learn more about the needs of the cultures, and then try to find ways to help where we can. So, well, you can't have education success without trying to figure out what some of the outside stressors are for the kids and the families. So, if we can learn some of the things that are going on outside of the building, and we can help with options, then when they come to school, they can just be focused on their education and being a kid. Because being a kid's important still, and a lot of the youth that we deal with, they're in situations where they're taking care of a lot of things when they're home, maybe younger siblings, or they're cooking, or they're doing a lot of things. So helping them be able to come to school and still be a kid and learn is important. Again, I think it helps with all of them. Outside of being a community school coordinator, I'm a coach as well, and one thing I've learned as a coach is I can try to teach or give them new options of things to do on the court, but if their minds are clogged with all the stress that's going on in their life, then there is no education, there is no learning. They're in fight or flight, and in fight or flight, they can't regulate their minds and their bodies and their emotions. So this is very important work, because we just don't have education without some kind of self-awareness and just some kind of de-stress in their lives and in their bodies. So having a position like this where we can help in all areas outside of the education, so when they get here, they can just be students. I don't know more important work. It's just really important.
Central Iowa students need not only to graduate from high school, but should also have the opportunity to graduate with a plan for a successful future. Since launching United to Thrive, United Way has been focused on helping students get to graduation and think about what's next. For some, college makes sense, and for others, there are many other equally viable options. But for far too many, what lies beyond high school is a mystery. 26% of our Central Iowa high school graduates say they don't have a plan for the future. And if they are Black or Latino or come from a household living in low income, that number increases dramatically. These students need to learn about what is available, to understand all the different opportunities that are available once they earn their diploma. Unfortunately, due to a high counselor-to-student ratio, on average, one counselor for every 450 students, schools are not structured or resourced to provide post-high school planning students need at an individual student level. And it's not as easy to get a job after high school. In Iowa, 88% of our jobs are mid or high skilled and require some additional training or certification beyond high school. United Way has been proud to partner with our school systems to help students learn about some of the options beyond high school. We have recently launched the United Wayfinders initiative that offers middle and high school students in-person introductions to many employment options in skilled labor and other areas. Together, alongside our nonprofit partners, Education Leadership Initiative members, and other donors, we can continue this important work in achieving education success for all Central Iowa students. Our next element of a thriving community is economic opportunity.
Ladylike DSM is an initiative that specifically focuses on empowering Black women in Greater Des Moines area, specifically professional, personal development, but there's an emphasis on Black women entrepreneurs. Ladylike DSM has been able to grow among the years with support of Black women entrepreneurs, starting out with vendors welcomed at the annual brunch, and then growing the number of vendors that we were able to support. And more recently, we have begun an incubator program with the Downtown Farmers Market. A certain number of vendors are able to attend the farmers market free of charge to them. Thank you, United Way, for the support in that venture, so that they can expose their business to all of the folks that attend the farmers market. We try really hard to impact Black women in Central Iowa, no matter where they are in their phase of life. Whether you're looking for personal and professional growth or education moments, you can tune into our Ladylike Power Hours. If you are an entrepreneur and you're looking for support, you're trying to grow your income, make sure that you are meeting basic needs for yourself and for your family, we have the incubator program or the summit that you can attend. Basically, we want to be all things to Black women in the state of Iowa.
Central Iowans need to not only be self-sufficient, but to be financially stable and have the opportunity to build wealth for their family and future generations. For years, United Way has worked to improve Central Iowans' access to financial stability by focusing on increasing incomes and creating opportunities through better jobs. But economic opportunity is about more than income. In order to grow beyond survival, beyond just getting by and paying bills, people need to build assets and wealth. And wealth can feel like a loaded word, but we're not talking about people getting rich. We're talking about ways Central Iowans can earn enough to meet their needs and more. To have the means to provide food on the table or a roof over their head, with the long-term goal to be able to invest in assets like a house, a retirement plan, savings plans that help provide long-term stability now and in the future. This is a way you break the cycle of poverty and create an environment where individuals and their future generations can thrive. But in Central Iowa, attaining assets like these is much easier sometimes in word than in deed. 1 in 5 households lack sufficient liquid assets, meaning they could not manage to survive if they experience a job loss, a medical emergency, or another financial crisis leading to a loss of stable income. And 36% of Black and 19% of Latino households' debts are greater than their assets. They have no financial cushion to help them weather a financial crisis or to invest in their future. The majority of adults in these households are employed. They are working, but still just barely getting by. Just this week, United Ways of Iowa announced the publication of the ALICE report. ALICE stands for Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed. These are Iowans who are fully employed but still not earning a living wage, and their numbers are increasing. This extensive report does a deep statistical dive into our state's ALICE population by county. And some of the numbers in the report are staggering. Bottom line, despite our state's relatively low unemployment rate, more and more Iowans find themselves in very precarious financial situations. And with no savings or cushion of any kind, those neighbors of ours are just one flat tire or a brief illness away from unemployment, zero income, and serious challenges. United Way focuses on economic opportunity by supporting many initiatives across the community to help Central Iowans gain the skills and training they need to increase their income, improve liquidity, and build wealth. In the most recent tax season, 79 volunteers joined our VITA program to help Central Iowans living in low income file more than 1,300 tax returns, resulting in more than $2.3 million in tax refunds coming back to those individuals and our local economy. Our final element is health and well-being.
Grace Fitness impacts Central Iowa in a variety of ways, and it is through our health education, outreach, and also our nutrition education and outreach. We have programs, free programming. We have a diabetes prevention program. That's a year-long program that can be ran in any modality to help people. And also we have Better Choices, Better Health that we are a peer leader to teach through Iowa HHS. So we are in Central Iowa improving health outcomes, and that has to be done by education. But you have to go to people to educate them. Health is wealth and knowledge is power, and that encompasses everything that United Way stands for. Is going into the community, helping people, listening to people, and having services and programs available to those that cannot have it themselves, can't afford it themselves, I should say. The United Way Health and Wellbeing Cabinet epitomizes the Grace Fitness work because education, again, if you don't know anything about me, education is key. And United Way has provided us the funding to go to people to help them. And that is huge, especially for my organization. We're a new nonprofit. So having United Way agreeing with us that help is needed in the service area Grace Fitness provides, that's unmeasurable to what United Way and our partnership is. I can't even, it's just a beautiful thing.
Central Iowans need not only access to medical care, but access to quality, culturally appropriate care, promoting physical and emotional well-being and improving resilience. Access to appropriate health care continues to be incredibly challenging throughout Central Iowa, more specifically, mental health care. In fact, Iowa as a state is ranked last in the nation for the percent of adults able to receive the mental health treatment they need. And 44% of Iowa adults with mental health needs receive no treatment at all. Mental health is an incredibly important issue of focus within the health and well-being element. The significant need for mental health care has been identified, and healthcare providers and others understand the very real impact mental health conditions can have on an individual and our community as a whole. I mentioned culturally appropriate care. This is an issue that is increasingly important, and it really just comes down to trust. For individuals of color, immigrants, refugees, or a member of any other underrepresented group in our community, it can be difficult to find healthcare providers who look like you, who sound like you, or who are culturally aligned with you. We know from our research and our conversations, it matters. If we are already hesitant to access healthcare because of cost and other factors, the lack of cultural alignment can create an additional hurdle in making the decision to go to the doctor, the dentist, or mental health provider to get the care we need. We will work to find meaningful ways to make it easier, like our HealthWorks program, building pathways to cultivate a diverse healthcare workforce and providing opportunities for individuals to see themselves in healthcare careers. United Way is focused on many initiatives associated with mental well-being, having a sense of purpose and hope, and being well-informed about the options that are available for help and support. We have been a leader in the statewide Well Kids Coalition and other initiatives dedicated to children's physical and mental well-being, with a focus on creating access to resources that support healthy lifestyles where people live, work, and play. It's our hope that in reviewing the community report that you can see that our collective work is more important now than ever. This work can feel weighty, especially in the last few years, and the way we address critical challenges in our community has evolved. And as a result, as Sean mentioned earlier, United Way has evolved as a result to be more responsive to and reflective of our community in addressing critical community issues. With United to Thrive, we have established the framework we need to be nimble and more immediate as critical issues arise, and we will continue to be a steady, dependable source for the community. Since 1917, United Way has helped this community navigate incredibly tough challenges, from its founding at the close of World War I to the Great Depression, from polio to the Black and African American families who were displaced by the McVicker Freeway, now I-235, through natural disasters and pandemics to the challenges we face today and tomorrow. I look at the history of volunteer leadership and staff that have led those efforts for over a century, and I take so much pride in the work we do as stewards of this organization and of this community. And I'm so proud of the partnerships we have forged over those years with people in this room and organizations in this room and beyond. Together, we can and do make an impact. We work together to solve the puzzles, because to grow, to prosper, to thrive as a community, we must live united. Thank you again for being here this afternoon, and thank you for taking time out of busy schedules. And now it's my pleasure to turn it back over to Alex for the Live United Awards. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary. Each year at this event, United Way recognizes individuals and organizations that have made a significant impact over the past year with the annual Live United Awards. Awards are a little different this year. We will present two types, the Live United Leaders Award and the Live United Champions Award. Live United leaders are individuals who have distinguished themselves as donors, volunteers, and advocates for United Way's work and the United to Thrive priorities. Live United Champions are organizations, employers, nonprofits, and others that have done exceptional work over the year to make an impact in Central Iowa through United Way and other organizations. The last award is called the Spirit of Central Iowa Award, and it honors one organization that has gone above and beyond to give, advocate, and volunteer in support of United Way and Central Iowa. Our first honoree is a Live United leader, someone who has worked to improve the lives of our youngest Central Iowans. As a champion for Women United, this person has helped to raise millions of dollars to support child care centers in areas of Central Iowa that need them desperately. She has provided her expertise as a member of United Way's Early Childhood Success Cabinet, providing advice and direction on the investment of critical donor dollars to benefit kids. And as an advocate, she rallies those around her at Principal to support United Way and Women United to help ensure kids in our community have every opportunity they deserve. Please join me in congratulating 2023 Live United leader, Christine Bruner. Next, I'm excited to present our first Live United Champion Award, recognizing an organization that has a long and storied legacy of giving back. Its founder instilled in the company and its people a deep desire and commitment to serve our community. During last year's annual United Way campaign, this company raised a record amount, and they're celebrating their 90th year of operations with an ambitious goal to complete at least 90 acts of giving in support of local nonprofits by the end of the year. And they are well on their way. Listen to these stats. They've completed more than 50 volunteer events, packaged 30,000 meals, put together 4,000 after-school bags, assembled 100 financial literacy kits, and much more. The organization's founder helped to establish the World Food Prize, a foundation that addresses food security around the world. Please join me in congratulating this amazing Live United champion, Ruan. Our next honoree is a Live United leader, an individual who has worked throughout her career to improve the lives of Central Iowans. As a champion for people who need assistance, this person has helped others understand and receive unemployment and SNAP benefits, allowing them to stay in their homes and avoid food insecurity. She has used her expertise, her influence, and her well-known reputation to connect with smaller businesses and newer nonprofits to expand their outreach, stability, and longevity as community-based organizations. And as a champion for diversity, equity, and inclusion, she created her own organization that trains thousands throughout Central Iowa in applying the lens of DEI to trauma-focused services and trauma-informed workspaces, all working to end the stigma of mental health challenges in the Black community. Please join me in congratulating 2023 Live United leader, Breanne Ward. This next Live United champion is an organization that has been a big supporter of Central Iowa and United Way. With a passion for supporting early childhood and education success, members of this organization achieved huge growth and participation in their 2022 United Way campaign. As a sponsor of last year's Stuff the Bus book drive, this company collected thousands of children's books, and they donated dozens of magic reading carpets to United Way book buddies. They also had a huge crew at United Way's annual Day of Action. Plus, with a healthy volunteer time off program, they showed up all year long, developing and devoting more than 1,200 hours to volunteering in Central Iowa. Please give some love to this Live United champion, Shazam. Our next honoree is truly a Live United leader. She has distinguished herself as a voice for people in need and as a pillar in our community. By serving as a mentor to young people, particularly young women, she shares her wisdom with our community's future leaders and encourages them to engage in our community. As a powerful advocate for mental health issues in Central Iowa, she has worked tirelessly to raise awareness and combat stigmas that surround it. This amazing person uses her influence and talent to raise awareness of important issues like food insecurity, workplace challenges, housing, and so much more. As a champion for diversity, equity, and inclusion, She has leveraged her business to educate and encourage dialogue about issues that make up an inclusive community. This individual is an exceptional supporter of United Way. She is a founding member of Women United, a member of the Tocqueville Society since 2004, and a member of the Tocqueville Legacy Circle, having endowed her gift in perpetuity. Through her business and local publications, she has called our attention to leaders, entrepreneurs, up-and-comers, all with perspective on improving and growing our community, business, social, and cultural advancement. Please join me in congratulating and thanking 2023 Live United leader, Connie Weimer. Our final Live United champion is an organization that has been an extraordinary supporter and partner since United Way of Central Iowa was founded back in 1917. Their 2022 United Way campaign is only one piece of their overall commitment to our work. The CEO and his wife served as the 2022 United Way campaign co-chairs. The organization provides a 50% company match for all employee United Way gifts. And each year, their team amazes us with an employee participation rate of more than 93%. This organization consistently ranks as at the top for per capita giving. With a specific and significant focus for supporting essential needs and economic opportunity, members of this organization see the importance of the interconnectivity within the 5 elements of a thriving community, leading them to volunteer 12,000 hours at 560 nonprofits across Central Iowa. They see where success in one element impacts success in the others. Please help us congratulate Live United champion, Bankers Trust.
I made it up the stairs without dropping it. That's good. So, we're here to the big one. This is always a fun moment for us at this event. The Spirit of Central Iowa Award is presented each year to one organization that has shown exceptional commitment to our community through United Way, through their efforts in giving, advocating, and volunteering. It's an incredible honor to recognize this company for its outstanding efforts in our community. This year's Spirit of Iowa Central Award winner shows their dedication to our community through engagement, utilizing their time, talents, and treasure throughout the year. In 2022, their campaign giving increased 24.7% over what had been a record-breaking year in 2021. The organization makes giving back to Central Iowa core to its culture and to its values. For instance, their team participated in the Day of Action with 363 volunteers working 920 hours of community service. I'm not good at math, but 363, that's nearly one volunteer per day that this organization put out into this community. The list of their engagement is long and impressive, and you're going to hear more about that in a short video. But please join me in congratulating this year's Spirit of Central Iowa Award recipient. For the 3rd year in a row, it's Athene.
Just right there? Wonderful. How's everything looking? All right.
Should I do a show choir move?
Who would have guessed we'd be here again? What I love about Des Moines, and it really extends to the United Way, is all the people seeing this video today and the organizations you work with. We're all trying to lift up the community. And at the center of that, leading us, is the United Way of Central Iowa.
Athene fits so well with United Way, number one, because it's core to who we are. Our employees rate this as one of the top categories every year on our employee survey.
We go beyond just doing the right thing. It's important to us from a workforce perspective, how we show up in the community.
All just about helping people and who are less fortunate than us, frankly. I mean, we're lucky to be where we are.
At Athene, we believe the best way to make a lasting community impact is by giving, volunteering, and advocating for great causes like United Way.
Every aspect of our campaign, from the daily activities to the donation baskets, is driven and led by employees across every department.
Each year, a 30-plus member team starts planning months in advance. Over 100 total employees volunteer their time to help make each day a success.
Our 2022 campaign theme was Game On Athene, a tribute to old school video games that encourage people to level up and have some fun. The campaign team organized a lot of fun campaign events, including Top Gun, a paper plane throwing competition in our cafeteria, DuckTales, which was a race through the Athene Rapids, Human Pac-Man Maze, and strong involvement in the United Way Day of Action.
For our Day of Action, we had 363 volunteers work 920 hours of community service.
This is the first year our employees specifically, alone, reached over $1 million in the campaign giving.
The Athene Foundation stepped up its match from 60 cents on the dollar to 75 cents on the dollar. We had 47 Tocqueville-level donors. We provided $10,000 to the Loaned Executive Program. On top of that, we supported Vision to Learn with a $25,000 donation and $5,000 to co-sponsor Stuff the Bus. In total, we raised almost $2 million.
For less than 2,000 employees, we're really out hitting our weight class, frankly.
It's not just 1 week that the United Way campaign happens where we're focused on really having that community impact. It's all the other things that are going on throughout the year.
Our employees volunteer 5,000 plus hours a year. They're continuing to engage with United Way partners on several levels.
The idea that we have won the last 5 of the 7 years is truly a credit to our employees, and we thank them.
On behalf of the United Way Planning Committee here at Athene, thank you so much to all Athene employees for everything you do to help make this a success.
Bravo to the 1,800 Athene employees that have made this happen, and thank you to the United Way for recognizing Athene.
I made a comment last year about, let's do it again. Had no idea that we could win again, and on behalf of all of Athene employees, thank you to the United Way of Central Iowa. I'm not going to say let's do it again. Somebody else step up and take it from us.
Are you going to lay down and let someone else have it?
So how do I respond to that? Of course, we're going to do everything we can to try to win again, but we'll just have to see.
Can I say we're kind of a big deal?
Makes sense. Is that too much, you think?
I'm going to invite Grant up here to say a few words, but I see a number of the actors out here in the crowd, so thank you to all of you.
I guess the engraving is to come. This one's blank. Yeah, Sean said 3 in a row, and not that we're competitive or anything, but it's 5 out of the last 7. And obviously, those of us that were involved in making the video, we knew what was going to happen here today, but we've kept the secret pretty tight at Athene. And when we share the news back, I know they will be thrilled. It's as exciting to win the 5th time as it was the 1st, which I think was back in 2017. So really grateful for the recognition. Really grateful for everything that United Way does, and so many people have said that already here today. But all of us and all the things that we do together, I think, is what really makes Des Moines a special place. And trying to create opportunities for everyone is the way we think about what we do and the work of our foundation, that everyone has a chance to be their best self. So thanks again. 6 out of 8 sounds pretty good to me. I don't know.
Six out of 8 does sound good. It's a good number. Friends, colleagues, and fellow Central Iowans, cannot thank you enough for your energy here today. It was awesome, and we can't thank you enough for being here and taking the time out of your day. So thank you very much for all of you for joining us, and another thank you to our sponsor, Prairie Meadows. Now go forth and live united.